Think it's good. Okay, do it that way. Hey y'all, hey. Like it's right. Hey y'all, hey. How y'all doing tonight? Listen, y'all gonna have to come on in when you come on in. I just want to say hello. I don't know if I can hit this chat and say something. Make it love. Let the people sing. Okay, I give my own self some love. Yes, I know how to chat with y'all now. Listen, when y'all come on in, I'm gonna get started. It's Friday night. I love Friday nights. Friday nights is normally the night I really meditate on my. I got a playlist, so I'm playing my playlist. If you don't know by now, I love songs. I love R&B music. Um, I love all kinds of music, except for the rap stuff where it makes you. It tells you to shoot somebody and kill somebody. I ain't with it. I love gospel too. I love gospel. I love gospel rap. I got a few gospel Kingdom Brothers that I support as well on my Facebook channel. Um, I do want to address something before I start. Um, with today with the guy that complimented and said that I was a cute older woman. Um, he didn't say anything wrong. I thought that was really amazing. That was a cute message. I understand a lot of people language because once before in my life, I didn't have a great vocabulary as well. Like I said, I came from the bottom. I came out of the pits. I came out of the sewer with the rats and the roaches. I had a hard childhood. I don't mind speaking on it. It is what it is, but I don't speak on it because it's painful. I speak on it because a lot of people don't understand, when you come out of a hard childhood and you live here and you live there and people didn't care about you, people didn't protect you, people didn't watch over you. I didn't grow up in a home with a mom and a dad, even though that don't even matter. If you do grow up in a home with a mom and a dad, you still gonna have spiritual attachments from the bloodline. And this is something a lot of people don't like to talk about. So when people now, if somebody up there that's giving me evil compliments, listen, be my guest, have my back. But when somebody is being sweet, take it. Their language might not be your language. Your language might not be their language. I'm a very free spirit person, and I've been posting a lot of my younger teenage, get ready to go into manhood young men on my page because I behind the scenes I deal with a lot of teenager men and women. They lack of empathy in their homes, they lack of love in their homes, they lack of understanding, compassion. They don't have no one that really listen to them and hear them out. And when you see those young men smiling, they even had me smiling where you can see my back teeth missing. I was like, you got me smiling hard. He was like, come on, mom, you want me to smile? You got to give me one. So the ones that I posted today, they gave me a smile because they normally don't smile because they go through a lot of warfare in their homes. It's either their mother, their grandmother, their great grandmother, their siblings. You know how it is in these families, and nobody really want to talk about families because a lot of people are afraid to stand up because when you're prone to manipulation as an innocent child, that's the easiest way to manipulate a child, to program a child mind and have that child warn against a family member or whatever. When you're innocent, you look up to other people, and even though the looking up to them is a manipulation, that's why you see a lot of or narcissistic. Y'all know I got to do the hand clap. Narcissistic families, they love to raise small kids, and then once the small kids start growing to like a teenage age, like 12, 13, where they starting to realize grandma ain't no good, mom ain't no good, daddy ain't no good, everybody mean up in this house, I'm getting treated wrong, this the golden child over here, I'm the scapegoat, and this is the visible kid. And then once they get a certain age, grandmom or mom want to give them away to somebody because now they done programmed them enough. So when they go out here in this world, either they gonna go out here and hurt others, or they gonna go out here and get hurt by others. So it's either one way or another this thing can go. So tonight my title is about spiritual background checks. Forget about the money, the skin. The skin ain't in. The skin is only for people that walk by sight. And what I mean by the skin, this flesh, the looks, the shape, the sizes, how much money you got, your cars, your clothing, how you wear your hair, how you do this, how those are for people that walk by sight. And we can't aim at them because right now they're not awakening like we are. And once upon a time, we were not awakening. I would never told anybody about my childhood. Everybody used to ask me, "How was your childhood?" I was a little girl. I just lived. And then some days it would make me sit and think like, man, I really was a scorned kid. Like, I really was done dirty as a child. And majority of us had. But I don't feel that as I talk about that, I can just go back and give y'all what I went through. I don't have no problems with it because, see, I'm not a little kid anymore. I can offend for myself, and with God on my side, I can't go wrong at all. God wasn't always on my side. What I mean by that, I never followed God like a lot of people follow God. Now that I see spiritually, a lot of people wasn't following God the way they said they were following God either. But I was just a toxic person, just living life as anybody else, in toxic relationships, trying to make my kids comfortable as possible, which I did that. I fought for my kids until they got of age, and they still was stuck to me even when they got of age. We all separated now. My daughter passed away. My oldest son, he does his own thing. He always had been that type of child. And my baby boy, which he will be 25, um, June 16th. So, it's a lot of things, that I have to deal with in heart, but I don't let it take me down. I don't sit on it. I don't let it, tear me under. Like the day I was a real mushy type of female, the day I was thinking about my daughter, she hit me kind of hard because, Mother's Day coming. Even though I tell my kids I don't celebrate it, but they still always love to, cherish me as they call it. But I stopped taking gifts from them and stuff like that because that's not what they need to be doing. I don't do holidays, and that's just part of growing up. I didn't get holidays. I gave it to my children, but for me giving or somebody giving me gifts or whatever, I don't like receiving gifts because sometimes it's the wrong intentions behind gifts. So, I rather for you to show me actions instead of, showering me with gifts or whatever. I'm more of an action woman. I don't care about I love you and then you don't show me you love me. That's a big problem. I don't like words. Words just don't rock with me, especially words with meaning. If somebody tell you they love you, I take that to heart. If you tell me you love me now, I'm going to see how you move because love is an action. It's just not a word you just throw out there. And, I share a lot of the young guys. I'm going back. Y'all got to work with me because I jump all over the scene when I talk. But the young men and women and some of the older people that be up there, those are managers that I deal with in these businesses. And the young teens and go into manhood or womanhood, I just try to give them the best advice ever because those pictures that I posted, those pictures really mean a lot to me. I just don't post them just because I want to be seen. No, me and those people that I do post, we have a real deep connection. They can call me, any type of the night if they have problems or if I can do something for them, they call me and I talk to them because a lot of those them children, they're children to me, they be going through a lot in their homes. And I can relate to going through a lot in your homes when you don't have a voice, when you don't be heard, when nobody want to hear what you got to say, or you got a toxic mom or a toxic dad that don't even really know the truth. So they only live in what they were learned. So, now that I'm understanding the cycle, the spiritual cycle, now I can understand if we were only taught what they only knew. So I don't have a problem with that. The only problem I have with things is you continuously let this cycle keep going. It's a cycle, it's a pattern that they replay over and over and over and over. And like they say, new levels, new devils. No, it's no new level, new devil. The devil is the devil. The same old tricks through whoever allows Satan to use them to do anybody else wrong. I did wrong things in my life. That's why when I talk about my relationships, I don't talk about it to put my exes down. I talk about it because those were lessons for me and I learned from those lessons. And I would never ever go back in those type of situations anymore. So when I talk to you all about it, it's not that I feel any pain. It's not that I want an ex back. I definitely don't want my exes back. They're exes for a reason. I don't they know what I talk about. Believe me, it's not that they don't understand or I'm talking on my YouTube channel and I don't know where the snow is coming from. It's outside somebody horn. If y'all hear it, somebody alarm going off. But they know how I feel. So I don't come up here and just put them on blast and they like, oh, she said that about me. They perfectly know how I feel. They were the first ones to know. But in the comment section, just try to keep it. If they make comments like that, don't say anything mean to them, because you don't know where that person mind was. Then he probably just gave a compliment. Don't even compliment nobody. So what I'm saying is I understand both sides, but if they say something mean, that's when you halt that. I won't want y'all to halt the mean comments, but I try to check my comments on a regular. I just want to keep a clean cut community over here. No matter what anybody say, we don't talk the same. I don't talk like majority people. I know Spanglish, I know English a little bit, I know a little bit of Spanish, Creole, French. I know a little bit to get through with people because I dealt with many people: Honduras, Mexican, Puerto Rican, Dominicans. I dealt with a lot of races, in my life. Salvador, Honduras, So I've been around a lot of people. The last job that I had, I've been around a lot of people and I learned a lot of different languages and the way they say different things. And the first thing I learned first is the negative ones, because they'll cuss you now. They will cuss you. And if you don't understand what they're saying, they'll be letting you have it. You heard me? I know a little bit of Vietnamese. Now with my China people, I got a lot of China friends. I just be like Chong yon. They be like, okay, Siobhan, we have a real close connection. And whenever they see me in the stores or whatever, we all show each other love. So I have a real big personality. So it's no respect to persons over here. I don't worry about the skin. I worry about the heart, the spirit, and the mind. So tonight I wanted to talk about some things about spiritual background checks. Now that many of us is awakening. Now I'm chosen to help others. This is not a mission that I wanted to do in my life. I would have never thought in a million years I'd be on somebody's computer or somebody platforms, speaking. I never thought this in a million years, but you know, this is not what I choose to do, but I was chosen to do it. So I be obedient to God and help many people as possible. I love everybody. I love people to the core. I don't have no problem with nobody. Now, like I say, I'm holy. I'm pure at heart now. But if you turn me the wrong way, I can get hood. We can pray together, but we're not gonna play together, because this is a real serious mission. Being a life coach or I don't do the motivational speaking because I don't want to motivate anybody. I want to help people heal. So I am a healer, but you got to go by things I say, because and I'm not going to send you in the wrong way, but if I seem a lot of if I seem harsh as a lot of people call it. I'm very bold in my talking and I give it raw because Satan do not sugarcoat anything when he hurt your heart through a soul, and you is not going to sugarcoat something when you're hurting a soul or yourself. And a lot of people is hurting themselves. And the reason why the hurt is about is because nobody really want to deal with their childhood. A lot of people don't want to bring it to surface because a lot of people childhood is very painful. My childhood was painful, but now that I grew, it don't hurt no more. Even though when I moved back home and my family attacked me just because I cut them off, I gave the silent treatment, no contact, and we live right here in the same complex. And they once exist to me, but now when you hurt me severely, people don't understand how I can emotionally detach. Is because I'm not going to attach myself to emotions that is unstable. I don't deal with unstable, double minded people because those people, one minute they'll be good, then the next minute they won't be good. So now you're going to make me turn on and off my energy. And I don't like to turn on and off my energy. I don't like to reach out to people and they don't reach back. I don't like to ask questions and people don't answer questions back. So when I throw stuff out like that and people don't answer or people don't reciprocate the same energy I give, I detach. I don't allow it to prolong because if you allow toxic situations to prolong in your life, then you're going to actually become double minded. And as I told y'all, evil communications corrupt good manners. So if you're trying to be healthy and you're trying to heal and you got a person in your life that come in your life and start giving you mixed emotions and mixed signals, then your mind going to be unstable. Then you're going to start being unbalanced. And then you're going to be mixed. You're going to have mixed emotions and your mind is going to be unstable and you're gonna start doing things. I got so many notes here today, y'all. I've been writing and working today, so don't think that I just sit and do nothing. I move a lot. I really move a lot. But I believe in facts over feelings. That's just me. I get in my feelings later, but it's always facts over feelings with me. In the word, it's in Matthews, it say, if you put your mother before me, you're not worthy of me. I love God. God is first in my life. God is before anything in my life, before my children, before my grandchildren, and et cetera, et cetera. God is always first because He helped me out of a lot of deep situations that I should have lost my mind in. He helped me through all the pain that I endured in my life, all the people that came into my life and betrayed me, used me for whatever, because I'm a great supporter. If I'm rocking with you, I got your back 100%. I'm not going to renege on you. I'm not going to turn my back on you. You ain't going to worry about me being behind your back, being two-faced. I'm going to be with you in your face and behind you. So that's the type of person I am. So I recommend that same type of energy because if you can't reciprocate that energy, just be like, I can't reciprocate that energy. That'll be cool with me. I understand that because everybody haven't made it to this level. I made it to, you know what I'm saying? It was a painful journey. And I mean, I endured a lot. And I don't take no type of joking and games. Like what I mean by joking, like sarcastic or somebody being passive aggressive or whatever. I can catch everything I can catch on too. But I try to keep myself clean. And a lot of people think that I'm just loyal until I get a husband. No, I'm loyal to myself. I know my worth, and when you know your worth, you know that you ain't gonna go out there and start cheating just because you ain't got nobody or everybody else cheat. And I'm not gonna go out here and tear other people down just because other people got a fetish of tearing other people down. I love humans because I am a human. I love truth because I've been lied to all my life. I want to give much love in this world possible, even though I'm one person, but I'm operating off of a deep spirit that gives me love to give out to other people. I listen to other people, but it's two sides to every story. My story other sides to it, but I'm going to tell the truth about my life because there's no need lying. I got so much that, well, I got plenty time, I think. Listen, I pray to God give me some more time, but long as he give me time, I can talk. But I came through a lot of secret things, and when I found out the truth, it really hurt. And as I endured it and got over it with a lot of praying and fasting, crying in the secret, crying out to God, fasting a lot. Um, it eased up. The Holy Spirit eased the pain up. Now I'm not so righteous that I think this and I think that's the church in the world. That's the trap houses that they're so righteous they never gonna make another mistake or they never gonna at first I was listening to a lot of those worldly pastors, but then as Holy Spirit was showing me things, I was like, oh, they're not worldly. And I see a lot of them falling and it's more gotta fall. But we're not so holy. We can't do this and we can't do that, or good at. No, we once were where y'all was. I once was blinded. I couldn't see. Now that I'm found, I'm not sitting around here and be like, okay, I just when my daughter passed away and my family attacked me, oh, I gave out some good old cuss words. You get what I'm saying? I gave out some real anger issues and was ready for whatever. I went back into my narc mode, but I pulled it in. You get what I'm saying? It was hard to pull it in. I was cussing for a while. And what I mean by a while, I was cussing for a good little month because those attacks were severe, and those attacks that was issued to me was for no cause, just because I don't want to deal with toxic family members. They were the root of my problem. They were the root why I was the way I was. They were the root to where I couldn't hold a marriage or I couldn't hold a relationship or get into relationships just because. That's not how relationships even go with anybody. Mother, father, sister, brother. I didn't have a father, so I don't know how I feel that have a father figure in the house. But my mother, ex-boyfriend, I was looking at a video with him. I don't know if I can post that video. And we were in the house, and he always used to love to have church with me. And me and him always used to sit up all night long and talk about God. And he would express his feelings. And I had videos, and I was looking at it the other day, and I was like, wow. And he just loved, I loved it to be around him because he always welcomed me as a daughter. He never did anything out of the woodwork with me. He just loved it me genuinely. And I knew him over 28 years, and he was more of a father figure. And he would tell me things like when I used to cuss real bad, he was like, Siobhan, that's not nice. You're too beautiful. You're too precious for that. You don't understand who you are. But I never understood what he meant. But older people have their way of saying things. And, I respect that because, he was trying to tell me, even though, he'd been through the world, but he was telling me, you're not that type of woman. You're not a worldly woman. So, he would give me advice and I took the advice because I didn't have a father figure in my life to actually sit me down and say, well, this is how a woman should be, or this is what a true man expect from or desire from a true woman. But he did that with me, and I miss him because he passed away um year last what's this 24 2021, I think 2021, 22, one of them years he passed away. And it was deep for me, but I can endure death is not something hard for me not to endure. I know we all got to go one day, but he inspired me, and I listens when men talk. If you are a man that is working on your heart, you're a man that's working on your spirit. You because we all got to renew our minds. Everybody on this earth have to renew their mind. Now, if they don't renew their mind, that's on them. But you have to renew your mind because you got to get reprogrammed spiritually. I didn't know all of this, and even though I'm talking, I get my wisdom from God. So, a lot of people is astonished about how I talk now, because if y'all knew me back then to now, y'all would be like, whoa, that woman did a whole 360, and it ain't me, it was God. But I'm a deep diver. I want to put that out there too. I'm a deep diver. I don't believe in swimming on shallow water. What I mean, I don't believe in just listening to what a man did to a woman or what a woman did to a man, because it's a reason why we allow, including myself, and I'm talking about myself. Every time I speak on myself. It's a reason why we allow people in our life to damage us. It's a reason why we allow men or women to come in our life and abuse us. Because, like me, I can use me and I'm going to use me. As a child, I was always used to abuse, alcohol, drugs. This is what was around me: cussing and fussing, fighting, cutting, jail. I seen all of this stuff my whole entire life. Sexual abuse, I experienced that. But drugs, I didn't experience until I was 35, 36. One of them, it was almost my 40s when I started smoking weed, experiencing weed. But that's when the warfare was coming real heavy. And I promise you, weed got me out of a lot of warfare. I don't get addicted to nothing. So I'm not a creature of habit. So I believe in change. I like unfamiliar territories. I like to just go and just drive off and go to somewhere new and meet new people. I love to meet new people and I love new things all the time. I'm not a creature of habit. That's just not who I am. You'll see me switch up. I might have this on this month, next month. Then you'll see me find something else that I want to get into. I try not to stay the same. Um, when you go to, and I want to talk about therapy. When y'all go to therapy, I don't understand how therapy works. I tried it twice, but it was just like I was there, not there. So I suppressed that. And but when you go to therapy, do they ask you light questions or do they dig heavy in your life? And from hearing and researching and looking, because I'm always learning, I want to learn vocabulary words. I want to learn new stuff. I get bored real quick. That is something I really do get bored very quick. So I just can't stay on one thing for so long. I have to rotate and I have to move around because I can't do something over and over and over again. It'll drive me crazy. um when I look at the people that say they've been in therapy, and I know therapists do not just ask you, that man hurt you or that woman hurt you, because I feel like this: if they fool you one time, shame on them, but after that, shame on you, because now you allowing that person to come into your life and damage you even more. So now you're projecting because you're not trying to really be honest about who actually hurt you first and had you wide open in this world. A lot of times people lose loved ones. Like my daughter, she lost her father. And when she lost her father, she just couldn't bear the pain. I thought she was like me. That's why we can't lean on our own understanding, because I didn't know the spiritual world either then. So I was like, she'll be all right, she'll suppress it, she'll get over it. She couldn't get over it because her and her daddy was very close. She loved it, her father, even though when me and him split up and I went my way and he went his way, he had more kids or whatever, whatever. But she loved it, her father. She had a phone. She called him. I wasn't, behind to see what she was talking about. She loved it, her dad, and her dad also loved it, her. And I loved it, that relationship that they had. I try to not, don't talk to your dad because he abused me and all this other stuff. I never put negative thoughts in my kids' head about their father. Now, if their father did it to me, that was on him, and I didn't have nothing to do with that. But I am who I am. Like with the smear campaign, I see a lot of women and men get broke down because somebody smeared your name or went around talked about you. If it's not true, don't worry about it. But I got to get into how I can get y'all to understand that the smear campaign is only to keep you down, not for you to move forward, to keep you stuck. So when they come back, I'm going to kiss on you a little more, I'm going to hug on you a little more, I'm going to throw you a little more gifts. It's just to keep you bound. It's not a attack that's really authentic, because if they saying things that ain't authentic, then why would you worry about it? I had the smear campaign done to me many times. Did it stop me from moving forward? Absolutely not. Did I cry about it? Absolutely not. Because if I know who I am, you're not going to make me think something delusional or this fairy tale that is not true. So, a lot of people that is wounded like that, somebody in your home that you came out of hurt you severely, where when you got into this open world, you attract those same type of spirits. That's why it's a must to go back and take the outbring out of you so you can move rightfully. You can find your rightful person. Because when you walk by sight, you walk with spirits that is unclean. So you got a pride spirit. You're very egotistic. So when you're egotistic, you're going to want somebody to feed your spirit, not you. You want somebody to feed that flesh. And flesh is not where it's at. And a lot of people get by with the flesh. Your flesh gets a lot of the flesh gets a lot of people through life. How they look, how they smell, how they shaped, if they got a lot of muscles, if they got a thin waist, a big booty. You see a lot of people getting BBLs and breast lifts and getting a whole lot of stuff that just make their body look good so they can have more attention. That's not what life is about. Life is not about your skin, because your skin ain't nothing but a house for your spirit. We are spiritual beings. We're not fleshly beings. You can go to Ephesians 6:12. That's why I say it's very urgent and to restart reading the word of God. It's things in there that y'all will blow your mind when I start reading the word. And like I say, me and Holy Spirit taught me how to read the word. And when I hear these false prophets using certain scriptures, like I heard tonight, one of the on TikTok, one of the pastors that's going to get ready to be on his face too. Um, he said, many called, few are chosen. So make your choices wisely. I'm like, that is not what that means. God chooses the ones, just like I'm gonna give you an example. If you go for an audition, I'm gonna go in the physical realm. You go for an audition, you're gonna have so many people there audition for that certain position, that lead position. They're gonna have different people to come in and audition. They're not gonna pick everybody. They need just the one that they feel that is rightful for that position. Well, that's how it is with God. You got to put in work. He knows you before you even hit your mother womb. I didn't know God before God. God knew me before I knew him. Like I said, I didn't believe in prayer. I wasn't taught prayer. Let me put it that way. I wasn't taught how to pray. I wasn't taught how to get on my knees at night and pray to God and ask him, for repenting. I never that all these words I'm saying to y'all, it blew my mind 5 years ago. I wasn't taught to repent. I wasn't taught to ask the Father for forgiveness. I wasn't taught to love thy neighbor as you love yourself. I wasn't taught to love God with all your heart, mind, and soul. I wasn't taught nothing about the spiritual realm. So when I used to be in families or see other people, families, or go to barbecues, because down south they barbecue like crazy. And I was like Tupac on Port Justice, Cousin Pete. I go to any house that was barbecuing because I'm just that type of person. I got a big personality. And down south they got, I mean, mega hospitality. They got their hospitality down south is grand. Like, I mean, anybody can eat. Anybody welcome. They're not people that, really stuck up. They got problems. Don't get it twisted. They got egos. They got pride and all that. But when it comes to loving one another down there, they'll do it. They're very two-faced with it, but they show love. I love my southern people, but they just, like Poet Justice, hey, Cousin Pete, I'll go up in them barbecues, be like, bam, 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 and I loved those people dearly. But when you don't understand, and when they used to get around and they'd be like, who gonna say a prayer? And I'd be like, prayer? What? I'm laughing too, because I was laughing then. I was like, a prayer for what? And they have somebody in the family that I guess the prayer, they'll stand around and hold hands, put their heads down, and they'll be like, Father, Lord, thank you for this food. And I'm like, where y'all start this? And I start asking questions because I ask a lot of questions because when I see something unfamiliar that I never did or my family never did, but my aunt Mazella when she was living, she had her little family reunion. We would go when Aunt Marcella, but she'd been gone for a long time. She would do the family reunions, but after she passed away, it was like no, because they tried to get me to live with them. But when I seen them holding hands and was like, Father in the name and this and that, and then they're praying about cousin JoJo hip and cousin such and such ankle, and I'm like, how long y'all gonna do this prayer? And I would literally say it, and they'd be like, "Oh, Siobhan ready to eat," but I didn't understand it. And then with their family reunions, I fit in real well. I was like, okay, they really loving one another. But I'm a deep diver. I watch how they act. I notice body language, eye contact, and everybody always been open and honest with me. But they war at each other. It's nothing different. They war at each other. They just love to feed each other. That's just what it is. And I didn't teach my kids how to pray because I didn't know. I went to churches and I was like, I am not getting it up in these churches, and they having sex with the members, they draining the members for money, they lying, they doing things that the word is not asking them to do, and then they'll be like, oh, well, it's tradition. I don't do traditions. If the word said no traditions, I do no traditions. I get hung up in no first lady, and first lady done had 1,000 men, and pastor done had 1,000 women. I'm not going for that first lady and second lady stuff. Eve is the first lady, and she's not here. So I'm not gonna go for that. I don't do the church. The church is leaning on their own understanding, and they war at each other a lot too, and I don't believe in warring. If they don't get the word of God, I'm not trying to force it. I give y'all scriptures that goes with my messages. It's up to you to read the word. It's not on me. I had to go through the same thing y'all going through. I reject the word. I didn't want to hear it. I didn't want to hear people say nothing. Look, God got his own time, and he give us all free will, and my will was not free. He chose me, so I had to do what I had to do. He took everything from me. I had everything materialistic. I could not say I didn't have nothing that the world didn't offer. Curved TVs, sections, and I had beautiful stuff, but God stripped it all from me because he had to get me out of walking by sight and walk by faith. So that was a hard mission for me. It wasn't easy. It was hard because I'm like, okay, is okay, what we doing? And if he don't want that door open, he'll shut it. I can't get through it. So I'm not up here trying to bash people. You better come to God. At first, I was angry. If y'all go down to when I was first learning the Bible, I was still in my angry mode because I was like, I've been lied to. I hate this. I hate lies. Don't lie to me because I'm not going to lie to you. I don't like somebody around me that are lying because if they're lying, then they're still. And if they're still, then they're killed. And then they're going to kill. And then you overput. So, over with. I'm sorry. So, yeah, I try to get deep into that. So, like, again, when you go to auditions, and they want to audition you to a play or something, you're gonna put in work because you want that spot. So you're gonna do whatever it takes to get that spot. That's how it is for us chosen. We had to go through it. I had to go through everything Satan can send this world through. It was painful, yes, it was, but this is just how I work. Now, when you're talking about someone hurt you, like when I wasn't getting hurt in my relationships. I was physical abuse. I abused back. Verbal words. I'm not an arguer, so I don't know. I don't like saying things to hurt somebody with my words. I can't do that. And if I do it, I'm hurting. So whenever I do have to say something mean to somebody, I have to come and I have to repent to God, and I have to fast, and I have to pray because I do not like hurting people feelings because I don't think that is fair, and it's not appropriate. You get what I'm saying? But if I do, it's because you hurt me so bad. I can't do nothing but get up and get hood on you. So I try to prevent that. So that's why I don't even try to argue. If anybody start arguing with me, I shut down and I back away. If anybody say anything that's poisonous that will hurt me or cut me to my heart or cut me in my heart, stab me in my heart, I back away. I won't deal with you. That's just who I am. If you try to play games in my life, I don't play games. I'm not a game player. And I might look different to a lot of people because, this world is walking by sight. So everybody looking for somebody already got money and all this extra stuff. I'm not looking for that because in due time, I will get where I need to be. You just can't climb to the top off of somebody else's money. I'm not a woman after no man money. If I do get a husband in my life, it's about love. It's about growing together. It's about showing each other what I don't know, and what I know show my husband what, where he's slacking at. He might be slacking in the spiritual side. I can help him in the spiritual realm. I might be slacking in, business, learning how to run a business. And okay, I'm sorry. I'm reading. I like to read comments. Oh, I'm sorry. It's no peace. It's not. And I'm sorry that your mother passed away. And I hope you're holding up strongly, because ooh, death. Y'all know I lost my daughter in December. And, that's a hard pill, especially, when you don't have no support. And no, it's no peace in the church. It's none. Seriously. And I don't say that to tear people down, but it's a lot of people that's blinded, and I made a live about the religious narcissistic leaders. And when you coming out of your childhood and you're blinded, you're getting into the world and you're blinded, then you get into relationships of whatever sort, and then you're blinded, then you go into the church. They know these people are vulnerable, but that's a chance they play, because that's something I would not play with God, not with misleading. It's leaders in there that don't even know the word. They take the word and twist it in their own way, just to make them feel like they're intelligent. It's not about intelligence with God. It's not about who is high and who is low. I love people and y'all see that I take pictures with people that's homeless, because that's where my heart is. My heart is with people that's homeless, people that don't have nothing. I don't care if I just got $5 in my bank account. I'm gonna give that homeless person my $5. I've always been that way, and it's not for show. It's because I know where they at. I've been homeless before many times, so that's something that hits hard in my life. With people that's unfortunate than others. I don't deal with people that feel like they're so rich. The rich man won't even make it into heaven. He's so rich he think he's God himself. So that's some Satan territory. But yeah, these churches don't have peace, and I'm very strong about having God, you having a personal relationship with God yourself. Because in reality, when you go into these big mega churches, and they got all these people in there, that pastor can't focus just on you. You can't have that true one-on-one with pastor or first lady, as they call it. I'm just saying what they call it. Or they got favorites in the church, or you in a family church that the family done uh boost each other up, that they ministers and all this choir and singing. And if you can go into Ezekiel 33, which I can Ezekiel 33, it tells you about the singing. And you can go into First Timothy 1, and it tell you God don't care for the righteous man, but for the lawless and disobedient, for the ungodly and for the sinners, for the unholy and the profane, for murderers of fathers and murderers of mother, for manslaughters, for whoremongers, for them that defile themselves with mankind, man stealers. He wants you. He don't want them ones that think, oh, I got a college degree. I have a PhD and doctor and all that. He don't care about that. He invented that. God is the artist and we are the art. So we got to go to him. I didn't know this. I'm telling y'all stuff that I had to learn over these 5 years. So, it's not about, and you can look at the prophets. David. David was a reject in his family. He was out there tending to the sheep. He wasn't with his brothers and them. Daddy Jesse loved all the brothers except for David. David was thrown to the sheep. They didn't care if David died or not. But David came, and what he did, he took down Goliath, because behind him was the Holy Spirit. So, you can look at Samuel. He was a good man, but his sons They were lustful, they were judges, they gave their life to the world. So it's not about what this world is talking about. That's why I'd say read. And I've read for 5 years and I read every day still, because I get different understanding. You grow, you got to grow spiritually. I had to be stripped before I grew. But these churches don't have peace. They got favoritism in the church. Pastor done slept with everybody. Pastor just as cool as the drug dealer. Pastor just as cool as the alcoholic. Pastor can't heal nobody. That's that Pharisee spirit. And I don't deal with those type of people. I don't shun them. That's between them and God. But I stay away from them because I put in too much work to be as healthy as I am spiritually. Now you get into my mind, you better buckle up because we get ready to go for a ride. Because my mind, sometimes I'll be like, girl, did you just say that? I'm just really, my mind is like, oh my goodness. Some days I'd be like, girl, your mind is just too much for my mind is too much for me. Some days I wake up, I'll be unpredictable to myself. I'll be like, girl, that's how you feel. I used to be just a wild, adventurous, free spirit type of woman. I don't look at people for what they got. I look at people for their hearts. What is your heart on? That's what's important. That's your gem, your heart. Your soul is a gem. I don't care about other stuff, but you got to go back when you heal. You got to go back to your root. What hurts you? Where you are so wide open to Satan. So when people come into your life, they show you who they are the first time, but you ignore it because, in these homes, we had to endure some stuff that we should never endure. As a woman, I should never endure the things. Where were my protectors? Where were my mentors? Where was my leadership? Where was my safe place? I didn't have it. But I'm not, I know that that's why I was broken. So when I got in the world, I picked the men that I came up around. You get what I'm saying? Ones that like to fight. Now, all that fussing, we ain't gonna do it. All that cussing, we can do that all day. When we talk and we just cuss in our conversation, just like MFR and all that other extra nasty stuff that women shouldn't do. I did, but I came around with when I start drinking at 35, 34, going on 35. I got my first tattoo at 28. Then I just start tattooing. We have to experience this earthly stuff to understand that that's not your value. You got to. That is a got to yang yang yang. Okay, you got to experience it. So don't feel bad if you dis. And I told my kids this. I say you can't hide from God. Don't be hiding from nobody else. If you're doing something, do it openly so you know that you can repent. Because when you start being secretive about something, that's when the shame and the guilt and the torment, and then Satan can lock you in your own shell. And I call your skin your shell. He can lock you in your own shell. Many people commit suicide because they just could not handle the shame and the guilt. You locked in here. This is where Satan make big noise at. You ain't nothing. Didn't your mother say you're worthless? Didn't your mother say you could never be nothing? Didn't your mother say you ain't gonna never amount to nothing? This is where Satan locks in, and he used people that's the closest to you to do you. It ain't the people outside the box that do you. It's the people that's closer to you that do you. And that's where it hurts so severe. So when it's hurting like that, you out here running in the world wide open, starving. Like, I need to get away from this abuse, this physical abuse, this verbal abuse, this mental, because the verbal is going to send that mental insane. Or I can't I got to get away from all these no's. All your life, all you heard was no, 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 shut up, shut up, shut up. You ain't getting, I ain't got it, I ain't got it. So when you get older, you be like, I will never hear no again. I would never. And I worked so much. My kids didn't realize why I worked the way I worked. And after I told them why, 2 years ago, when I actually told them about my childhood, they were very devastated. But I knew I couldn't tell them when they were young. Like, a lot of women tell their children, oh, your daddy ain't nothing, your mama ain't nothing, your grandfather. That is a place of hurt because somebody hurted you. Now the person you brought in your life that love bombed you showed you that they can take care of you for a moment, you fell in skin deep. You get what I'm saying? Skin deep. Not heart deep, but skin deep. You move by the flesh. And when you fall in skin deep, you reap corruption. And we all reaped corruption one way or another. Just chosen ones, we reaped a little too much, but it is what it is. We had to. And I'm not going to tell you days I didn't hurt. I hurt a lot of days. I had to overcome it though. I couldn't sit on my misery. That is not a good feeling. I thank God that I was not meant to be a narc, a full-blown narc where I'm just going around just miserable all day. No way. Ain't no way I'm gonna go around like this. Yeah, I don't even see that type of face on me. Like, no, 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 no. I am a very high spirit. When I tell you my vibration is very high, I'm very high vibration. When I do dim down, it's because I need a break from the world. My energy is need to be recharged, restored. But this is me. What you see out of me, this is me. Now I love to laugh. I love comedy. It's a guy on TikTok. He sends me a lot of comedy, and I was like, oh, he see that I like comedy, I guess. So he'll shoot me two or three comedy videos, and I just love to laugh. I love to light heart teasing, like just tease a little bit, say little crazy stuff just to make you laugh. I don't believe in just walking around grumpy all the time, don't want to speak to people, don't want to understand people. Like, I followed the spirit the other day, and this little girl was in the store, and I love buying kids stuff. I love children. Children is everything to me. Little kids. And she wanted a cupcake maker, and it wasn't only but $5, but mama probably didn't have it like that. You get what I'm saying? But I was like, well, I can give her $5. So her mother was like, but I got three more other kids. I was like, well, tell them to get something too. She was like, $5 or under. So I told her the reason why I love young little girls. And I say, because I lost my daughter. And she immediately bust out crying real hard. And I'm like, did I hit you? I mean, you resonate with that really hard. And she gave me a hug and whisper in my ear. She was like, my oldest son that she adopted, she was like, his mother died last year from fentanyl. I was like, what? And I always obey Heavenly Father when He tell me to go ahead and do this or give this or whatever. And when I do this, the mothers, they be so broken because, and these are people of the rich, as y'all say, rich people. These people are mourning just like we are. They just can hide it a little better because they got materialistic things. Like when I had materialistic things, people didn't know I had a bad childhood because I didn't move like that. I moved just simple. I'm a simple woman. I don't care about your status and all. I don't care about that. Them titles can go with me because them titles hold a lot of lies. Those titles make a person grandiose. You will know a person behavior when you put them in a place of authority. Even with children that, mothers have children. I think both parents need to be on child support. I always said that. Why the man just got to be on child support? How y'all doing? Don't be broken hearted. What's wrong? I don't, you're broken hearted. Don't be. But I think both parents should be on child support if that's the case. But this world is not a fair place. You got unfair situations. Me and my kid's father, when we divorced, I was like, he don't have to pay me no child support. He know he got kids. He got a life just as well as I got a life. And the judge was looking at me like I was crazy. But my ex was in my ear like, get that money. I was like, that's not what we were together for. We wasn't together for money. I don't need to go through the system. I never been on food stamps. I never been in the system because I'm not gonna give them all my information for a little bit of food stamps or child support. That's why I work. He gave what he gave when he had it. If he didn't have it, I understood it. I took the load off, but he was there whenever I called him to be there. He was just him. But I didn't force him. You got to pay child support. You're gonna go to jail. I didn't want to see my kid's father in no jail. Them kids would have been devastated. And that's not something I brought on them. I always moved a lot different because I understood situations and the missions. I never, even though me and him fought, he beat me up and I start hitting back. I didn't go around, oh, he this, he that, I can't stand him, I don't like him, because I allow him to keep coming back in my life, and I allow that abuse to continuously going on, because it's up to you to stop it. Now I allow no type of abuse. You cannot play games with me. I know my worth. And my worth is more precious than any of these perishable items in this world. So that's why people don't understand me. Well, you look like you just high and mighty. Oh, yes, yes, yes. Oh, my goodness. Oh, did you get your baby back? My kid's father did that to me too when we had a divorce. Okay. Hi. Well, listen, welcome, welcome. Be free to say what you gotta say, open up, because I have mentioned it for my commenters, do what y'all do. She's 18 now. No? You say you didn't get your baby back? Okay. Oh man, I lost mine. And thank you for subscribing. This was my baby. She died in December, 30 years old. Yeah. I look at her every day. I miss her. Today was a real hard day for me. And I still haven't got the the frame for her here. Let me tell you, losing a child is not easy. Even though people be like, "You strong," I am strong, because me, if I cry, she will. She will come home. I'm praying that God will send her home to you. I pray that. Yes, I pray, I pray, I pray. And believe me, that's something that my ex used to say too. The mother that he was dealing with, that he had a child from, she kept his daughter away from him for a long time. Yes, yes. Oh, when them narcs, when you break away from them, that's all they know is to attack. They use the kids too. My kid's father did that too. He kidnapped the kids. Man, I plead and beg and begged and plead. I was like, you ain't gonna keep them kids. I called the police. The police was like, well, wait a minute, because the law in Maryland, both of you got rights. But see, in South Carolina and stuff, if the parent is absent, the parent that's present automatically get the custody. But here now it don't work that way. And I plead, but he turned them over because I said they're gonna turn you out too. They're gonna be just like you. He hurry up and turn them children over. He did that, but I do pray, and she will return. She will return, because my ex went through that, and he cried so many days. And I was like, I guarantee you, even though we wasn't together, he made sure he reached out to me. He said, Siobhan, you told me in due time, just be patient. She will come. And now him and her got the best relationship. I guess it's still going, because I don't interact with him anymore, because he wants to be back with me, and that's a no-no. So, I hated to cut him off, but I couldn't keep that conversation going, because if you give somebody toxic hope, one little speck of hope will make them feel like they got everything. Oh yeah, that's how they do. Yes, they do. They do. It's sad how they move, but they only move to keep you hurting, and because they're hurting. See, I can speak on it. When I was a child, I hurt so bad. And I was always looking for where my mom, they didn't care if I went to school. They didn't care if I had a job. They didn't care if I showed up at school. It was really bad for me as a child. I was like, who gonna love me? Listen, and listen, it's all about love over here. If you get any problems, and because I read my comments, all of them, believe me, I will address it. But you are safe over here. Speak your mind. You're welcome. And I don't know how to word titles as well yet. So even though if I put them out there, and I'll be stealing titles from my friend channel, he said I could. He know I be over there, and I look at his channels, and I try to, he taught me some stuff, but he got his own life as well. So I'll go over there on his channel and sneak over there. I'll be sneaking. I think I get a thrill out of some things sometimes. And I'll go over there on his channel and sneak in steal some of his titles because he tried to teach me, but he got his own thing going. So I don't try to be a heavy burden on people. I try to learn and not be codependent on taking people's stuff. So oh, thank you. And I appreciate that. I do. You won't be sorry. I tell people I speak strong because I've been through some strong stuff. I've been through almost all the stuff that Satan can bring as a chosen one. But I appreciate you showing up. And once I get the ball rolling, I love to give out things too. So, I'm a giver. I just love to give. That's just part of me. Um, I just want to help people, to power up and overcome things, and that's just what I'm about. And I don't like to say, well, you telling me this, but then I need to know, like, I like to go deep, like, who hurt you from the beginning? I was hurt as a child. So I was picking all the wrong men. I got married. Actually got married in a funeral home. Yes, I got married in a funeral home, and I was like, I was forced into marriage. So, they thought they could keep me with marriage. I wasn't ready for a marriage. Okay, 51 minutes. Oh, thank you. You made my yes. I got some. I got a lot of things to talk about. Yeah, I got married in a funeral home, and I thought when I said, you want to marry me, I said, you gonna marry me in a funeral home? Sure. And dudes, how old? I've been married twice. My first, I was 24 before I had my son. I got married to my kid's father, and then I got married 8 months in the funeral home. I did not want that dude, but he was like, "I'm gonna marry you. I want to marry you." And I was like, "I'm gonna be drunk." That's when I started drinking. I was drunk with black on one shoe off, one shoe on, one earring in, one earring on. One, this is no lie, no cap. Hair all over my head. And I'm like, he's standing there and I'm like, is he gonna really marry me for real? This dude was like, I do. And I was like, I'm cheating on him. He know I'm cheating and you still want to marry me. But it was all because my energy is really, really high and I love hard. But when you hurt me, I can't love. So after 8 months, he divorced me. I didn't care. I was like, honey, divorce me because I didn't want to marry you anyways. You wanted to marry me. Why? But with my kid's father, I married him and we stayed married for about 5 or 6 years. We went together for about 8 years and then he married me because he had a kid on me and I was like, I'm over it. I don't want you no more. You got a child, and that's a painful feeling when your husband or your man have a children on you. Yes. Yes. Yeah. Yes. 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 Listen, I learned my lesson. You heard me, but thank God it didn't take a whole bunch to get out of my divorce. When I got up there and he when he went and put the divorce, served my papers, I was like, yes. When I got in the courtroom, the judge said, what are you why are y'all divorced? And I said, we not a match. I didn't want to marry him anyways, Your Honor. I married him in a funeral home. The judge immediately gave that divorce up. I was like, I'm not in love with the dude. Like, he just wanted the most, and I was not in love. We just had got back together, and I'm like, I ain't doing no going back with people no more. So when I broke, even down to my third relationship, when I asked him, I was like, listen, what we gonna do? Did you? Man, I think when I was in the not toxic relationships, y'all, I had the most fun. I had the most fun. I ain't gonna sit here and be like, all my life was hurtful. You call it, I like how you said a 14-bit. No, and look again, like, that's cool though. Use your words because I can bring some words. When I tell you, you be on a roller coaster ride with my mind, yes, I like that. You call it a bit. Listen, you was in prison. Listen, you did a 14-year sentence with him. Listen, when you really sit back and rewind, being in those, I loved it, my toxic relationships. Lord, what you what they had you on the chain gang? Was you on the chain gang in that marriage? Man, I'm telling you, I loved it my relationships. I did because we were friends. But they just had a problem after they know who I was. And I have a big personality. Men that love, they don't like you to interact with other people, but I am just not. I want my husband that's whoever he gonna be, I want him to be sociable. Like, don't be afraid to talk to women. If you've been talking to women, talk to them. I don't have no problem. I'm not a jealous woman. Now, the only time you'll get cut off is when you being disrespectful, or communicating with women just to lay down with them. Then that'll be a cutoff in my relationship. But I believe when you with somebody, you should be able to socialize with whoever, as long as it's a healthy communication, not that cheating and all that stuff, because I cut you real quick with the cheating. You will get me cut you off. I do not play about cheating. But if you want to communicate, that's the sound of the man. God working on the chain. You remember that? I love them type of movies. Y'all, I am really fun when I teach as well. So, some days I have to get hard, but some days I mean a lot of days I love to. That's the sound of the man. God working on a chain. Listen, me and my kids, we always had movie night. We always had taco night on Fridays. I always try to keep things going with my kids. They said, "Mom, you were the most exciting mom." I was very fun and entertaining. We traveled a lot. I love to travel. So that is something that if I even plan, like my son's birthday, did you? Did you enjoy it? And I got cable. But I don't have a TV. I don't watch TV. I don't watch so much TV, and I'm on the go all the time. So these phones right here got it all. Did you enjoy it with your son though? I wish my daughter was here. I love me and her sung together a lot. But listen, I love y'all. We can I make part two tomorrow, and we'll talk about it more. It's been an hour. I try not to overstay an hour with you all. I love you. And listen, you keep coming and helping. And yes, I do. This device and my other device somewhere, I sit there and watch because I love to learn. And I love the Animal Planet. If they still call it the Animal Planet, the Animal Channel. Oh, I love the Animal Planet. Oh my goodness. I know a lot about animals. I do. I do. But y'all all be sweet. I love you all, whoever tuned in. I love you for thanking you. You just use your phone. I do too. I ain't got no in here. My grandson said, "Mama, the TV." I said, "I don't got one, baby." But now I know when he want to come because he want to spend some time with me. He love his mama. Then my granddaughter, she be 14 years old. She want another phone. Talking about two phones. Two phones. I got you a phone, a tablet, and an Apple Watch. And you want another phone, sweetheart? Yeah, I want another phone. I said, "Well, just let me handle that. You handle that phone, then I'm gonna upgrade you to another phone." So, I try to make sure I'm in my grandkids' life. I love my grandkids to pieces. And, my son, baby boy in prison. So I could only write him right now. He in H-Con, meaning he's in a hole. They got into a gang fight in the prison, and he stabbed up somebody and almost killed them. It's been a lot, but I've been keeping his head up. Then I got my nephew in prison. He in there for murder as well. And I keep his head up. But right now I took a lot of time. I told him I need a loaf for a little bit and get some mental on. But he got him a job in prison and everything. So I've been, I love my nieces and nephews as well. I love them to pieces too. So I try to spread myself out in my family bloodline for the ones, the younger generation. But I love you. I do too. I love. Listen, I don't even have to use my swipe my debit card no more. All I gotta do is click and put it right there. Go, honey, I ain't with it. Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, my son got 18 years. 18 years he's in prison. And I help his other friends too. He know I'm a giver. He said, Mom, they ain't got commissary. I was like, tell them give me their account number. I put where they can get their tablets. They can do it for you put $25 on there or something. Yeah, my son got 18 years, yeah, for murder. He murdered few. Yeah. He in the prison, he got 5 years at it, 5 years at it. He got a bad record. Satan is really taking him through it. But I be praying hard too. Yeah. So, he started off with 10 and he ended up with 8 more years at it. So, he went in at 19 years old after prom night. It was a bittersweet moment for me. Yes, I do. And it don't matter because in the word Jesus say, be humble to the ones in prison, the sick, the lame, the widow. And when people, it's a lot of people in prison don't have support from their family. They get locked up and it happens and I do it. I do it. I pray for everybody in those prisons because those people was used from a place of pain. And but see, with the system, they get a big kick out of it. But the system, they ain't gonna be kicking nothing too soon because God got something for it. So I try to spread myself out. They be like, Miss Siobhan, can you put $20 on my tablet so I can watch movies for a whole month? And I do it. I just love people and I understand the position of pain, where their hearts are at. A lot of people don't know what goes on in the backdrop. Everybody just see what's in the front drop, but people don't really understand what people really are endured as children. Children, it's so many children that's been abused, and then when they go out here into the open world, oh, they just wrong, and the parents done turned them so severely, and now they want to back up. I ain't got no money for you. What you want money from me for? That's one thing about them narcs. They'll do it. They'll drive their children to go out here and get into some criminal activity. Then they'll be behind their back talking about them. I don't believe in that. I don't believe in that. Those are souls. And those souls need somebody to love them as well. So if I got it, they can get it. That's just who I am. When my daughter used to go to jail, she used to steal cars. She was a thug. And I was like, girl, where you get stealing these cars and stuff from? But then I did history on my father because I never knew too much about him. And he was in the street stealing cars. He abused his mother. That's why I said the spiritual background check, it is really needed because it skipped me and it hit my kids. You get what I'm saying? I should have been in jail for murder. I should have been on drugs. I should have been homeless on the streets, alcoholic, down, bound. But thank God for his grace and mercy. No, I can help others, and that's what I do. But I love you all. Thank you. Thanks for talking to me. I really enjoy your conversation. It was so amazing, and have many more. 28 and 26. They still need. Yes, they're gonna always need guidance. Yes. We owe everything to God. Yes, we do, sweetheart. And those are amazing, amazing ages. And yes, they're gonna still need guidance. They only in their 20s. It took me 44. When God chose me, I was 44 years old. I was immature. I was crazy. I was witty. I'd jump off the bridge if I could and didn't know how to swim. But I'm going off this bridge. Somebody got a life jacket? Give me a life jacket. I don't like to swim. I don't know how to swim, but I can swim if I put my mind to it. But if I learn how to swim, then I defeat the water. Then I don't want it no more. So I like to have a little things hanging in the background that I want to do once I get there. I don't want to rush into everything. So I am very content with every day I take. But you keep loving them children. Oh, thank you. You keep loving them. Love them regardless. They're yours. And no matter what they doing, they're yours. They ain't nobody else's. Ain't nobody help you push them babies out, and ain't nobody give you them babies but God. So, honey, I don't care what they go through. You're there. You there for them. Stay there for them. Even though some days it might be overwhelming. I used to tell my daughter, "Listen, don't call me today. Now, if you're getting sick now, call me. But if it's something else, you just call me. My Cash App, man, I showed my friend my Cash App. My kids wore me out in my Cash App. But guess what? I would not even mention my daughter took a lot out of me because I can't hear from her no more. I can't talk to her no more. I can't get conversation. So whatever I did for her, I am very grateful. But you keep your babies, keep them up. It ain't nobody. I don't care what nobody says. Oh, you doing that for your kids? Get up out of my face, okay? Before I they say I'm gonna lay the Holy Ghost down. I can't lay the Holy Ghost down, but I can go ahead and switch spirits and go ahead and show you what I'm made of. So yeah, you stand up for them. And I love you all. I love you all to pieces. Until next time, much love and enjoy your great rest of your Friday. I am. I'm going to turn my music on. Thank you. I'm going to turn my music up and take these big old earrings out my ear and take all this little cute stuff off. And I'm going to go listen to my music and lay on my bed and just enjoy my night. And y'all do the same. And much love. Mwah. If you got kids, much love. Kiss them for me. Tell them Siobhan kissing them in spirit and in truth. And much love. See, y'all have a great night.